This is the first ever Mazda CX-70, essentially a CX-90 without the third row. And then on this side, we've got the fully redesigned Honda Passport, one of my favorite SUVs out there. In fact, they're both my favorite SUVs. But today, we're gonna find out which one should you buy, which one offers the best tech, features, space, and since it is winter time and you can tell there's a lot of snow on the ground, we're gonna find out how these two handle in slippery conditions. Let's roll! Okay, let's talk about the exterior. How do these two compare? Well, on one side, we've got the CX-70, I call it the Beauty. And on this side, we have the Passport, which I call it the Beast. One screams, let's go off-roading. The other one says, I can go off-roading, but I'd rather stick to parking lots. The Passport on this side, it's got a lot of off-road details. The recovery hooks at the front, we've got the skid plate underneath to protect the engine. Same thing where the fuel tank in the back offers steel plates in case if you go off-roading and you damage it. You've got these wheels blacked out. I love the retro design of these wheels with the off-road tires, the rails at the top looking like really an off-road beast. It's screaming at you. The boxy style, yet a bit curvy at the front. Huge fan. And then we've got the Mazda. The Mazda gives you the impression of, I look pretty, but don't underestimate me because I can go off-roading. Although it doesn't have the perfect ground clearance like the Passport, it can still do some off-roading, but let's just stick to parking lots. Love the wheels. The rear side has collected a lot of snow, I notice. The front one, not so much, maybe because it's rear-wheel biased and it's kicking more snow onto the rear. The paint choice in this case got a unique color. It sparkles. The design lines. What we have in here is essentially a CX-90, but they removed the third row and they called it CX-70. Let's talk about cargo space. The Honda Passport is pretty large on the inside. I mean, look at this. I can sit in here comfortably. This is kind of like an extra seat if it was legal to do so. And it has a spare tire underneath, which is pretty good. This offers about 44 cubic feet of space. It is large. Like, I got space in here. I mean, is this thing a three-row SUV secretly? Just amazing. And another thing I like about this is this button. I press it, I take like my time, I come out, and it should close, I think. Hold on. Huh. The Mazda offers about 44 cubic feet of space. As you can see, I can't really sit straight because it's pretty tight. The other thing is that the Mazda doesn't offer a spare tire because the battery is located here. So they had to make space for that. So you sacrifice some stuff, but get run flats and you're fine. The other thing, Mazda, you can fold the second row with the butts located onto the side over here. You press those and then the seats just fold automatically, which is nice. There's a 1500 watts charging port in this side. But as you can see, it doesn't have a button to walk away, to lock, to close the tailgate. So you have to do this. Let's talk about the interior. We'll start first with the second row. I'm 6'3", so space is very important. It's pretty good in the Honda. It feels very roomy. It's got lots of space. It has a panoramic roof with a sunroof at the front that you can open automatically. It's very spacious. It's got nice rubber mats. It has a sunshade on the side that you can pull up, really handy. And to get in and out, it's pretty easy. Tech features in the second row, we've got your climate unit, 2 USB-C ports, and 120 volts to charge basically your phone. I've actually charged the batteries on the Honda today, which is very handy to have. In the Mazda, the first thing you notice is the 90-degree door opening, which is super easy to get things in and out. Like for example, a child seat would be pretty easy to get it in. And you can see it's very spacious when you jump inside. For someone of my height, it's comfortable. It's got really nice leather interior. It has a panoramic roof with a sunroof at the front, similar to the Honda. It's got 2 USB-C ports, heated seats in the back, same as the Passport. It has, of course, the 2 buttons, both climate unit in the center and lower portion, your armrest and so on, plus sunshades. So pretty loaded on second row on both of those with leather interior. Now, when you jump onto the front side, we start first with the Mazda. The Mazda, it's quite interesting because it's been like this for a bit now, and they found the formula that works for their customers. This doesn't have a touch screen here, we know that, but once you plug in your Apple CarPlay, it becomes touch screen. It has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you can connect. But one thing I prefer with the Mazda is the fact that it does have an actual rotary unit in here that you can control it, so you don't actually have to reach for it, and I much prefer that compared to touch screens. Not a big fan of touch screens when it's large and you gotta leave fingerprints, but if it's a standard vehicle, you don't really care. And you jump in and there you go, you got your entertainment, built-in navigation, you can connect your phone and so on. It has 360 camera. It's pretty good on the inside. We've got buttons underneath here for your climate unit, heated seats and ventilated seats in the front, heated steering wheel, and buttons that control the climate unit dual zone. Now, one thing I don't like about the Mazda is the wireless charging pad. My phone does not charge wirelessly as much, and I don't know why. It's either the phone, but it's also the charging port. Like the table itself is very short, so my phone sticks out quite a lot. It does have cup holders in the center. There's lots of buttons. The gear lever, it's easy to use. There's an actual gear lever, which I'm a fan of. Steering wheel, nice and grippy, beautiful design. It's got really perfect position as well. And we've got a digital cluster in the front. It shows the battery, it shows your fuel gauges and so on. It offers quite a lot. And there is a heads-up display at the front, which is very handy. Buttons in here for your unit, for your driver assistant package on this side, and this to control the infotainment, to control the cluster, and for the audio. The steering wheel can be adjusted manually to your liking. Seating position. One of the things that I like about the Mazda CX-70 and the CX-90 is the seat itself sits very low. It is powered at the front, plus lumbar support that you can adjust, but my leg is not in a full L shape, so that means I'm not sitting too high. The interior design overall of the Mazda here feels very premium, very still with buttons and functionality. I'm a big fan of buttons because it's easy. I want to find heated seats. I don't actually have to look down like that to find it. I know exactly where it goes, where it is, and I press it, and that's it. You've got your driving modes at the front over here. In this case, you could do normal, sports, EV if it's fully charged, and off-road. I just keep it into normal, and it charges the battery. Now, what is like driving this thing with a hybrid engine comparison in inline 6? Well, one thing you notice is that, let's just put it in sport mode, you don't feel that BMW grunt that the inline 6 has. It's naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, but one of the things that I appreciate about this car is the electric motor and the engine together. Let me explain that. It's instant. You put your foot down and this thing moves because of the electric motor when it's charged. And even when it's in EV mode, this works all-wheel drive. Yes, in EV mode, it works as an all-wheel drive system. The motor, electric motor, is sitting between the engine and the transmission, and the power goes to the rear wheels through a drive shaft, which is not typical for a plug-in hybrid. Usually there is an electric motor in the back that powers the rear wheels. This is a completely different design, and that's something that I think Mazda or people do not appreciate about their technology. Fuel efficiency is amazing. 8.1 we got on the way to our favorite spot where we film. Meanwhile, the Honda was about 13 liters or so. So that's like one of the differences in terms of the fuel efficiency. Now that's a V6, of course, it will consume more. In terms of reliability, only time will tell because this is new technology for Mazda, but so far I haven't read anything negative. In terms of comfort level, one of the things that you appreciate about this vehicle is that it actually drives like a sedan. It's weird to say that for a large vehicle, but it feels like it drives like a sedan. It's based off that kind of driving dynamics, I think, of a sedan. It's feels low to the ground, yet it's a large SUV. It handles like a sedan. The steering, it's pretty precise, and it doesn't have that boaty ride. It actually does a good job to stay a little bit firm, but not too firm to make you feel uncomfortable in the car. Road noise, pretty quiet. It doesn't have thick tires to give you road noise, and I think that's one of the benefits of the Michelin X-Ice snow tires, is that they're not too thick. They're still very mushy, so that it doesn't create a lot of road noise from the tires, like a lot of that whistling that we've heard before. Visibility in the car is just as great. Even the rear side, it's a little bit smaller in the back because of the rear hatch style, but overall, it's got great visibility all around you. Driver assistance package, it's got lane assist, gap assist. It will keep you within the lane. It steers for you and making sure that you are lined properly and you don't bounce left and right, and it's pretty precise. The Honda Passport. Well, big fan of this vehicle. Even when I drove it for the first time, I said this is one of the best things out there, one of the best SUVs to buy. It offers so much. And let's start with the second row, like tech features. You got USB-C ports, you got climate units. The seats are comfortable, tons of space. For me that I'm 6'3", sitting comfortably. That is a panoramic roof with a sunroof at the front to give you maximum brightness on the inside when you need it, or look at the stars at night, whatever. Next thing, visibility. This thing is boxy on the outside. That means it's got larger windows. Even the backside is slightly bigger compared to the Mazda, which means it gives you better visibility overall. Big fan of that. It's got sunshades, tons of cup holders on the doors, leather interior, beautiful leather overall. Big fan of the second row as well. Mazda has advantage of that 90-degree door, but they're very similar. Moving on to the front side, where I think things change a bit. The interior of the Passport, with this badge that says Passport here, looks more rugged, yet very functional. It's pretty loaded, this one too. You've got a massive screen, which it is touch screen in this case, and you can use it through here. It has Google built-in GPS. That means you don't even have to connect to your phone. You can just use the Google Maps right in there. Look at that. Really smart. It does have off-road features, like the camera that shows you the front side when you go off-road, the trail assist, which is because it is more off-road built. At the bottom here, we've got your climate unit, heated seats, ventilated seats, and heated steering wheel. You can control the climate unit for the back side as well, similar to the Mazda. You've got this little pocket in this side where you can put your key in there or your phone. It does have a wireless charging pad, and my phone works perfectly in there. There's buttons over here, and then you've got your driving modes. It's got sports, normal, eco, snow, trail, sand, tow, all that. And it's pretty amazing, I must admit, in terms of the off-road area. We did take it off-road, and the off-road capabilities are pretty good because it's got amazing ground clearance. The IVT-M4, it's superb for being an all-wheel drive system. The 10-speed automatic transmission, it's amazing. And the 3.5-liter V6, it's well capable. You put your phone down, and look at that. It takes a bit of time to wake up. It's not as instant as the electric motor on the CX-70, but it's still well capable, and it's shown to be bulletproof. The engine has been in this brand for so long that they've been used in so many vehicles. The Acura's had it, many Honda vehicles like the Pilot has it as well. Solid engine build, but it is not the most fuel efficient out of the two, and it was about 13.1 or so, 13.2, so slightly more, well actually a bit more than the Mazda CX-70, because that is a plug-in hybrid. In terms of the steering wheel, we've got a beautiful, very Civic-like, that's similar design to the Honda Civic. And you've got these buttons over here for your climate unit, for your driver assistant package on this side. Here, steering wheel button is located in here, which I am a bigger fan of having it here than here, because it's a lot easier. You get in, you press it, you turn it off, turn it on, and that's it. You've got this nice Trail Sport badge, the stitching all around the steering wheel. There's a cluster in the front, which it is digital. In this case, you're showing me the map on the right side, Google Map. It's got some analog details as well. There's no heads-up display with this package, but do you really need it? It's a really well put together vehicle. Now, what about driving dynamics? And I think that's another one to point out. When you jump from the Mazda to here, you notice this is an SUV, and it's quite visible, or let's say it's quite noticeable when you're driving and you feel higher off the ground. In fact, as a driver in the Passport, I feel like I'm sitting a little bit higher than the Mazda. The Mazda feels I'm sitting a bit lower compared to this. In here, I noticed that my leg is not sort of stretched a bit. It's more in an L shape. And I tend to not like that kind of sitting, but this is not the worst that I've driven in terms of the seat height. So I will not complain much because it's not horrible. In fact, it's pretty low. I expected and I thought it would be higher, but it's not as high, just slightly more than the Mazda. Road noise is a little bit noticeable because of those tires. So that's something to keep in mind with those tires, and with the general grabber, which are a different setup, it's also noticeable. That's even more because they're more for off-road compared to this. But the cabin itself, it's well isolated. The whistle is coming mostly from the tires. That's one thing you notice. I love the interior of this thing. It feels like something that you would want if you have children, because this is just perfect. You throw stuff around, you don't have to worry about. There's not a lot of glossy finish minus the climate unit, but everything else feels very rugged, like the leather portion here, the plastic at the top. I love the little touch that says Passport. Everything else here is quite nice. We've got tons of buttons. The steering wheel feels nice and grippy. So there is some sort of functionality here with that rugged experience. That's what Honda is going for with the Passport. And I really, really enjoy this vehicle. Now, the next question is, how do they handle in snow? And that's what we're going to do next. Let's talk about the engines. First, the Honda Passport. 3.5 liter V6 naturally aspirated. This thing is essentially the same as the one in the Pilot. It's been shown to be bulletproof, makes about 286 brake horsepower, about 265 pound-feet of torque. It is equipped with a 10-speed automatic transmission, can tow up to 5,000 pounds. But these things are not as fuel efficient. In fact, on the way here at about 170 kilometers in total of driving, this achieved about 13 liters per 100 kilometers. So is not as fuel efficient, I must admit, but has shown to be bulletproof, and it is paired to a very good all-wheel drive system, IVTM4, that can shift the power from front to the rears and side to side. It's very well capable. And then we've got the Mazda CX-70. Mazda offers two engine options. You can get a 3.3 liter inline 6 turbocharged engine, really good, it makes about 340 horsepower, or you can get this with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated, and it makes about 323 brake horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. But it's plug-in hybrid, which means it gets amazing fuel efficiency. In fact, this achieved 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers on the way here, and you get about 46 kilometers on a full charge. Plus, you get the green plate, so you can drive on the HOV alone. But the downside of this is that it only tows up to 3,500, unlike the one with the inline 6, we can tow up to 5,000 pounds. It's a smaller engine. The good news is that the electric motor and the engine work together as long as the battery is charged to give you instant torque. It's really impressive what they have achieved with this combination of hybrid system. Next thing you need to know is that this uses an 8-speed automatic transmission. It has the iActive all-wheel drive with the help of the 68 kilowatts electric motor with a battery about 17.8 kilowatts an hour battery. Very impressive what this thing can achieve in fuel efficiency, but also in instant torque. Let's talk about tires and wheels. Well, the Honda with this package is equipped with the Bridgestone Blizzard with 18-inch wheels. Now, one thing you notice with these tires is they've got more sidewall, which does help in case if you go in potholes. You know how roads get really horrible during winter time, there's potholes everywhere? Well, this will be less prone to damages because there's so much sidewall. This thing is pretty thick. Generally, these come with general grabber. I don't know why Honda went with this one. It's probably because of the package with HPD in this case. Kind of love this design of the retrofill of the Honda. The problem is that if snow gets stuck in between here, it's not going to be fun to clean it because these holes are pretty small, but they're quite meaty. They're pretty good for really deep snow, but they wear out fast because in dry pavement, for example, they're not as sporty, so the handling is a little bit sloppy, but overall, when it comes to deep snow, they'll do pretty good. The Mazda, on the other hand, the CX-70 is equipped with 21-inch wheels, less side wall, but big enough. 45 in this case, 275, 45 in the front, 21-inch wheels. Absolutely love this design, and you've got some space here that you can put your brush through to clean it when that snow gets stuck in there. Let's talk about the tires. Studless tires in this case. The X-Ice Snow are developed specifically for winter. They have a softer compound compared to the other tires, which gives you amazing grip. Now, I have driven the other Mazdas with this tire, and I have to admit, pretty solid tires. It does really well. The only problem is that these things in deep snow, because you don't have a lot of sidewall, well, you may be damaging your wheel in certain areas, so you don't get as much meatier tires than the one in the Passport. But the biggest benefit, these are rated to go up to 60,000 kilometers, which is way more than what the ones in the Passports offer. Okay, so we're gonna do the Honda Passport this time. I got it sport transmission. I have it in traction off completely. I've got it in off-road snow mode in this case. And let's see. Good to go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, okay, so some differences between the Honda and the Mazda. First is the fact that the Honda can mechanically transfer all the power to the rear wheels when it needs for traction. So it is very much a rear wheel biased system as well. And in snow mode, it alters the throttle response so that you don't get stuck in snow, and when you need it, it will just bump it up. And another thing to keep in mind, the iVTM4, it's a superb all-wheel drive system that essentially controls the power mechanically. It's such a solid built machine for pretty much all terrains. Okay, so we're doing the Mazda this time. I've got it in off-road mode. I'm gonna turn off traction completely so we can have some fun with this thing. Traction is off all the way. I've got into drive mode, and this is gonna be interesting. I've got more than half of battery, which is super important for this. And here we go. I am good on this side. Ready to go, sir?
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, let's talk about the Mazda. the iActive, it's actually very intelligent. Now, this has an electric motor that sits between the transmission and the engine. Unlike most vehicles that use rear electric motor, this sends the power through the center electric motor to the rear wheels through a drive shaft when it's needed. And it uses sensors, it uses sensors like wet conditions or cold to essentially transfer the power where it needs it the most. It's super intelligent, and I think Mazda doesn't get enough credit, especially because the system that it uses for the hybrid in this case. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what's the ultimate result? So the first place, who is it?
The Honda.
Okay.
43.88.
43.88. 43 seconds and 88 milliseconds, right? Okay, and then I'm very interested about the Mazda.
45.30.
So like less than 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Or about 2 seconds. My math is frozen today. So the Honda was 43.88.
85.
43.85.
Yeah, you're right.
88? 43.88. And then the Mazda was 45.30. So it's less than 2 seconds.
Less than 2 seconds.
Okay, so like it's not a massive difference. I think it's more to do with weight, but this thing handles superb in snow. It's so rear biased. You can have so much fun compared to that. Actually, I'll let you drive it soon and then we can test it out, but pretty solid in snow. Okay. I'm very impressed for this 4-cylinder and electric motor. You okay? So, which one should you buy? Well, here's what I can tell you. Price-wise, they're very close. That's about $63,000 for the top trim. This is about $64,000, $65,000. So they're very, very close. The question is, what do you do? Do you like to go to the cottage and you've got certain areas where you're kind of concerned about the roads and you need a bit more of that off-road experience? Then the Honda Passport is the way to go. Just as simple as that. Better ground clearance, better suspension system tuned for off-roading. You've got better protection underneath. You'll be covered. But having said that, the Mazda is very capable too. It doesn't have amazing ground clearance, but the engine is amazing. Fuel efficiency is amazing. It looks amazing too. So it comes down to you. Generally, these two are amazing SUVs. I couldn't tell you personally 100%. I would lean a bit more towards this. The reason is simply because it's got that rugged feel and I kind of like that. But I appreciate the Mazda CX-70 for being very fuel efficient. It gives you green plates, which I personally love. Can use the HOV alone, skip the traffic. It looks gorgeous on the outside. You couldn't go wrong with either the Beast or the Beauty. They're just fantastic SUVs.